G'day guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about 3 key reasons why you don't compress the golf ball the way that you want to. And honestly guys, these 3 things are so easy to change that you will in no time be striking the golf ball and compressing it just the way that you want to. Guys, let's get into it. Okay guys, so look, let's start at the very beginning. The number 1 reason why players really struggle to compress the golf ball, and it's the most basic reason in the world, is ball position. Now, thing to understand, most players will put the ball position in an incorrect spot. What happens when our golf ball position is too far forward? So here I'm going to position the golf ball up where maybe, I'd hit my fairway wood from. And again, it's very common to see. I've got my 7-iron here, and players will get the golf ball too far forward in the stance. And what we tend to see here is that the hands are going to get a little bit back behind the golf ball at address, and therefore we're going to try to drive the hands forward into impact, which logically we probably should see that a player will compress the golf ball a little bit more through that motion and notion of pushing the hands forward. The problem is there's only so far forward that we can get the hands to be working through the impact position before they feel like they get so far outside the leg line, and the club's naturally travelling to the left of as a right-handed player in the swing path. I'm just going to hit a pull snap hook that's going to go low and to the side. And I'm going to show you got that here. So we've got our player who's got the golf ball position too far forward. Got my hands pressed forward to try to feel like they're going to get level with the golf ball. But what I'm going to do as I work into impact, as my hands continue to work forward and create that forward press motion, the golf ball's going to travel to the left. So you can see there that the golf ball's traveling low and left. So again, what do we see players do? Let's position the golf ball in the same spot again. When it gets too far forward at setup, we often then see players start with the hands pushed forward to try to get them up level with the golf ball, but through the hitting area, they pull their hands back, they add loft to the golf shot, and they lose that compression. The vast majority of players that I tend to work with will put the golf ball too far back in an effort to gain control over the golf shot. Now, to demonstrate what will happen, the further I put the golf ball back into the stance here, logically we would think that the hands would travel forward and that we would compress the golf shot. However, what will tend to happen is as a player puts the ball too far back, and here I've got my TaylorMade 7-iron here, I'm going to position the golf ball back in the stance. Let's say, wow, this would be further back than I'd ever hit even such as a lob wedge. So we're going to put the ball a long way back in the stance. My hands at setup are going to be in their neutral, natural position. But as I look down here, instinctively, subconsciously, I'm aware now that that 7-iron loft has almost been turned down to somewhat, I would hazard to guess, in that 3 or 4-iron loft category. So if all things being equal, I set up in this position here and I work my golf swing, my normal golf swing, try to make contact. Yes, I have compressed the golf ball. However, the peak height on that 7-iron we're going to see was, where are you? Not even 30 feet in the air. Now, as a guide, if you guys can see this on camera, that was the peak height of the 7-iron I hit at the intro. And there's the peak height of the 7-iron that I hit when the golf ball's back. Essentially, I've hit a really, really low punch shot. Now, you guys watching this, your golfing brain is smart enough to understand that that's going to be an issue. So a couple of things will occur. We keep the golf ball back in the stance because we're trying to make better contact with the golf ball. We felt hitting the ground early, so we put the ball back in the effort to make cleaner contact. But then we will move the hands back behind the golf ball at address, or they'll stay here at setup, and then at impact, we're going to move the hands back. So I'm going to show you what that might potentially look like for you guys. In an effort to try to reorientate the loft on the club back to a neutral loft and get my peak height up, so we can see there that it jumped up to 20 meters, I have pulled my hands back through the hitting area, I've added loft to the club, I've basically reduced any chance of compression that I had, because it's hard for my hands to keep traveling forward whilst the club head is trying to reorientate itself and add loft to the shot. So, number 1 reason that players like yourself don't compress the golf ball the way that you'd like to, don't strike the irons the way you'd like to, would be due to poor ball position at setup. Okay, so reason number 2 that I see players really struggle to compress the golf ball the way that they would like to is a little bit related to the first part, in the sense that when the ball position is correct, that we tend to see, setup correct, therefore hand position correct. But we're going to look at the hand position at address. Now, this is a really easy one to fix and a really easy one to gauge. So I've got my setup template here with me. I'm going to place an alignment stick on the ground where it says 7 iron, okay? So I need the back of the golf ball at this point in time to be in line with the alignment stick. What I'm now going to do is, at address, I'm going to ensure that my right hand, my trail hand here, is directly over the top of the alignment stick. This from here will enable me to have my lead hand here slightly forward of this blue alignment stick that's on the ground. So at this point in time, my hands are slightly forward of the golf ball at address. That means that as I work into my downswing position, they're going to continue traveling forward, but they're going to work in such a way that my subconscious is aware, my setup's correct, my club face is correct, my loft is correct. I don't need to make any drastic changes to the club face to still hit a pretty good golf shot. So provided that we can get the golf ball in the right position, and then we can allow our hands to be into the correct spot at setup, I'm far more likely to maneuver and return that club to a better point at impact. So you can see there, the hands work through the hitting area and they return forward. Because I'd set my hands in the correct spot, there's no need to make a compensation into the downswing to compress that golf shot. Now let's move on to the third reason in today's video as to why you struggle to compress the golf ball. Okay, so the third and final reason why I see players struggle to compress the golf ball correctly is their weight distribution, their pressure distribution at impact. Now, far too often, again, this all results from poor setup. I'll harp upon that again. If you set the golf ball up correctly, stance width, ball position, hand position at setup, you are far more likely to return the club to a position that's playable, has the level of functionality to it, and you can hit the shot that you want to hit. But most players will struggle to get their pressure into the correct spot. Now, I'm going to show you today using a force pedal here. It's very, very simple. We're going to ensure that to compress the golf ball at point of impact, I need to have my pressure or my weight distribution working forward of the golf ball. Now, more often than not, if I have the ball position incorrect, I'm going to see myself shifting back behind the golf ball to try to add that loft to the golf shot. We don't want to do that. If the golf ball's too far forward, we will potentially drive far too far forward with our pressure and our weight. Yes, I am forward, but I've got no control over my club face because I'm stuck, and again, I've added loft, I've lost the ability to compress the golf ball the way that I'd like to. What we want to be trying to do is get ourselves into our setup position. So I'm just going to place this pedal in a spot where it's underneath my left heel. You can do this with a golf towel or an old head cover, anything soft that you can put underneath your left side or your lead foot here. Get into our setup position. As I get to the top of my backswing, in order to compress the golf ball well, I need to feel like I'm applying pressure down and forward of the golf ball. This will move my low point forward. It'll also enable me to let my hands naturally work forward into the downswing. They're not having to reorientate because my weight's in the wrong spot. So if we can get ourselves to work into that lead foot, into the downswing, you're going to find yourself compressing the golf ball so much easier. And again, it's so simple to do. It's just as simple as get the weight forward at setup if you need to. However, focus on moving it forward into the downswing. And again, nice and compressed by getting the weight into a forward position through the hitting area is going to find you compressing the golf ball the way that you'd like to. So there you have it, guys. 3 keys, 3 simple things to fix without the need of too many training aids to do so. Guys, if you're needing help with your golf game, I am on the SKILLEST app. It's really easy to download, super easy to work with, and I'd love to help some of you guys. As always, don't forget to like today's video, comment if there's something that you don't understand or if there's something you need some help with. I'd love to get involved with that. Guys, as always, thank you very much, and until next time, happy golfing.